We typically find that our partners are either targeting healthcare or avoiding healthcare like the plague. Anyone in one of those boats? Yeah, avoiding? Okay. Thanks, Jason. So what we're looking at is a huge expansion of who's going to get into this market, not only per number of businesses, but the scope of the integration. So instead of having a cloud-based backup just be for one person's workstation or laptop, you're now looking at a cloud-based backup that's going to hit all of your laptops, your workstations, your mobile devices. So we have mobile applications for backup information from your iPhone or your Droid. We're looking at a huge expansion into the server market. So now you take your servers, web servers, database servers, e-commerce servers, whatever it is, use ServerSafe to back that up, and you have a full image of the system, and then you can get that off-site. So I'm going to read this quote from the IDC down here, and the title of the study or the report is Adoption and Spending Intentions on Public Cloud Backup Services. IDC currently is estimating a 4 to 6x growth over the next 3 to 4 years. And the Harvard Business Review actually reviewed on this study and said that that was tremendously undervalued. It's just hard to put numbers to it because the managed service market pairing with the increased viability of online backup services means that there's some undefined number that we can't really quantify too accurately at this point. So to read it, it says, the data speaks to an untapped opportunity for offerings beyond data backup and recovery, such as continuity services that truly enable an application recovery strategy, et cetera, where it can be run in a remote cloud, data center, blah, blah. It speaks to the new uptime solutions that you find in managed service offerings. So now managed services has really matured the IT market, whereas before IT services was primarily a setup and reactionary service. All right, so you go and you do your evaluation. Okay, what does your company need? And you set them up. And then you come back when either you have a new product to sell them or if they call you because something's broken. And this is known from a familiar stance as a break-fix relationship. Now, this is because there weren't a lot of viable ways to do anything more than that. Without being part-time or full-time on-site, there's no way to provide more than that until recently, now that we have, again, better infrastructure, better software, better security for the software and the infrastructure to allow for regular services on a monthly basis, and all the measures are preventative. So you may not be getting calls for things that are breaking because your services are monitoring the system so much more effectively that you're preventing this downtime. And that aligns us with our customers in a very positive relationship. So now you make money and then they don't have any downtime, versus the only time you make money is for billable hours when you're fixing something that's broken. So you make money when they have downtime. That's a negative relationship. And the managed service market has grown so dramatically in the last few years because of how much better this allows you to provide services. It improves the relationship you have with your customers. It really just is more beneficial across the board. So combining with what we're looking at is SMBs are ready to spend more money on cloud-based services. And then on top of that, the managed service market coming behind it. How do you provide management services behind a backup solution that is primarily towards the cloud? So it's really quite dramatic, and this graph also speaks to it. That just shows, how slowly the SMB has really moved into it. To date, again, the early adopters have been companies with low costs of migration to new services or low costs of using an existing service, which means mostly consumers and micro businesses. The SMB market's a little more conservative. They have to be. It's just by nature of being in that market. Margins aren't as high. But you're right in that wheelhouse where you can move sooner than, say, enterprise services, where enterprise companies are so large they move a lot more slowly just because of, again, the increasing cost of migrating to new solutions. So what we're looking at today is total business data protection. Again, from one vendor now, from SOS Online Backup, you can provide protection workstations, laptops, servers, and mobile devices from one partner. So no one else in the market's really addressing an end-to-end solution. You have your players who are in the workstation and laptop business, who dabble a little bit in mobile, but for the most part, backup of mobile devices isn't happening. It's usually an access to your backups through your mobile device. So we're ahead of the curve there. And then you have those big hardware-based systems, and we'll get more into the competitive landscape, that are geared towards servers and what's called BDR, or backup disaster recovery, or business disaster recovery. And BDR it's great marketing on behalf of a lot of these companies to claim BDR as only image-based backup, but it's not. That's a single strategy. BDR is having an end-to-end solution. A business continuity and disaster recovery plan involves backup and recovery at all the levels we mentioned before: workstations, laptops, mobile devices, and servers. A study came out recently, TechCrunch did a nice review of, that showed that risk management is on the down because we came out of a good economic swing, so people were less worried about risk because they had more margin to address it. Well, now risk management comes to a situation where you really need good risk management, good continuity plans, so that when the market isn't as healthy, your business isn't as affected or as vulnerable to these types of things. So continuity and disaster recovery plans. So you have to be able to address all of those items, and we're truly allowing you to do that, and all at a ninja price point. The goal of the whole operation with SOS Server Save, and what we've set out as goals for the next month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, is to collapse the RTO and RPO, that's restore time objective and restore point objective, to less than 30 minutes. So restore time objective is server goes down, how long does it take you before you can be back up and running? That's RTO, restore time objective. How quickly can we be back up and running? RPO is restore point objective. To what point does this put us back? So I can get us back up and running within 30 minutes, but the data is a week old. That's a 1 week RPO. So we want to be able to get to the point, and currently on track, by Q2 of this coming year, we're going to have a cloud boot ability which gives you the RTO and RPO of under 30 minutes. And it's ambitious, and we're really looking forward to it, and we're every day we're getting closer and closer, and it's really exciting. Today, the market really has, again, just segmented strategies that are out there, but not a full end-to-end solution. So this graphic here, starting around the clock, gives it a depiction of what we're offering. So when we have the SOS suite of services, this is what you're getting with that. So at 12 o'clock, your cloud life. The concept of backing up items from cloud-based services is relatively new, but people understand it at some level. So you have S3 services, Gmail, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook. All these things are more and more becoming parts of your business. So marketing towards, or marketing via social mediums, is more and more important. So when you put a lot of effort and time into developing those social mediums, generating more followers, more group members, whatever the case may be, good participation in conversations or trending topics, what if all of a sudden that goes away? What does that do to your business? And this is not something that is just being made up. It's reported every day. There are Facebook reports that over 600,000 accounts daily are violated in some way, shape, or form, whether they're hacked or the passwords are violated, whatever the case may be. In the Twitterverse, it only takes a single world event to shut down the Twitter servers, and people losing their account information, losing their friends, their followers, etc. So we're offering currently a cloud-based backup solution. So back up your cloud life. You can back up your Facebook account now, your friends, pictures, comments, that sort of thing. And we're going to be making that available to our partners in a more generic form as time goes on. Backing up desktop and laptop, that's what we've been specializing in for years. So again, nearly 60% of a business's data still resides on workstations and laptops, despite all of our efforts as acting CIOs. So being able to back up information from the workstation and laptop very simply and easily is hugely valuable. It doesn't give you a whole lot of wiggle room if you just assume that any data that's not centralized, that has to be centralized manually by the user, is expendable. You might as well just consider that data expendable. And that's business data, that's valuable. So you need to be able to back up your workstations. So that also changes your RPO and RTO, and it gives you another restore point, another restore strategy. Again, business continuity and disaster recovery is a combination of strategies for both backup and recovery. And then your mobile life. We have our iPhone application in the store right now. It'll back up all your contacts, all your pictures, really terrific stuff. And you do more and more with your mobile devices. Smartphone adoption is up at nearly 35% now. So more and more every day, this is becoming important. And for most business users, I think it's safe to assume that most business users have some sort of smartphone. So this is important to bring up as well. Then we get down to 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, back up your file data. Again, this is right in line with the workstation and laptop, file and folder backup. File and folder backup is very important because most cases of recovery are at a file and folder level. And this gives you a really fast, flexible way to get that information when you need it. Now we look up at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, where we now have system data and app data. That's the big expansion that we've been waiting for. To date, and a lot of our partners today who are here, like Jason, can attest that typically they were employing some third party, either a Windows program or some other third party like Backup Assist or Zenith,